here is something nobody ever tells you. The reason you cannot stop staring at a campfire, a candle, a phone screen glowing at 2 in the morning is a survival glitch that is 1 million years old. And it almost never happened. Every animal on this planet runs away from fire. Every single one, except one idiot ape who walked toward it and stuck its hand straight in. That idiot is your ancestor. And the moment its fingers touched that flame, it did not just get warm. It started a chain reaction that shrank your teeth, rewired your guts, blew up your brain, and quietly turned you into a creature that can no longer survive without it. So here is the truth this whole video is going to prove to you. You did not tame fire. Fire tamed you. And by the end of this, you are going to look at the flame on your stove a little differently. This is Ashborn Ancestors, where we find out why your body, your brain, and your weird little habits all trace back to people who have been dead for 1 million years.
What?
Today, you are not watching that story. You are in it. You are the first human to touch fire. And spoiler, it is the best and worst decision you will ever make. So drop into the body. It is the middle of the night, 1 million years ago, and you are cold in a way you can barely imagine. Not bad weather cold, bone cold. The kind of cold you have lived inside every single night of your short, hairy, miserable life. You are small. You have no claws, no fangs, and no plan. When the sun goes down, you are not the hunter. You are the snack. Out there in the black, big cats are wide awake, and their eyes work in the dark while yours do not. So you do what your kind has always done. You pile your body in with the others, you shiver, and you wait to find out if you are breakfast. And then the sky cracks open. Lightning slams into a tree, and the tree catches and begins to glow. Now to you, this is not a miracle. This is the end of the world. Fire is the thing your people have always run from. You have watched it eat a whole forest. You have smelled it turn animals into smoke. Fire is the monster. Nobody in the entire history of your species has ever walked toward it on purpose. Which is exactly the moment your stupid, beautiful curiosity opens its mouth and says, "But what if I did?" So before you keep watching, be honest with me. Standing there in the dark, with the one thing your whole bloodline fears glowing right in front of you, what do you actually do? Type one word in the comments. Grab it or run. Remember your answer, because at the end of this video, we are going to find out which one of those people you really are. You step forward. Behind you, your tribe makes a sound you have never heard them make, half scream, half prayer. You reach for a small branch lit at the tip, and the heat hits your skin like a slap. It hurts. It really hurts. But underneath the pain, climbing up your fingers, is something your body has never once felt after dark: warmth. And in that single second, a thought arrives that has never existed in any mind before yours. The monster is warm. The monster is good. I am keeping the monster. So you do the most dangerous, most important thing any human has ever done. You pick it up by the cool end, and you walk away carrying a piece of the sky in your hand. You feed it grass. You feed it twigs. You watch it grow. And you guard it like it is your own child, because right now it is the most valuable thing on Earth. You have not learned to make fire. That is tens of thousands of years away. For now you are something simpler and stranger. You are a thief who stole a god and now has to keep it alive. And keeping it alive turns out to be the hardest thing you have ever done. That first night, you barely sleep. Every time the flame sinks low, your heart sinks with it, and you shove in more grass, more bark, anything, blowing on it with shaking breath, terrified that if it dies, you will never get it back. And then, out past the edge of the light, you see them. Two eyes low to the ground, floating in the black, watching you. It is a big cat, the same kind that has been eating your people for 100,000 years. It has smelled you, and it has come for an easy meal. For your entire history, this is the part where you die. But the cat does not come closer. It cannot. Between you and those teeth is a wall of light and heat, and every instinct in that animal is screaming at it to stay back. So it just sits there at the edge of the dark, hungry, furious, and helpless. And as you sit on the other side, shaking, clutching your stolen flame, you feel something no human has ever felt before. You feel the predator be afraid of you. For the first time in a million years, the thing in the dark is the one that is scared. Welcome to the top of the food chain. You did not climb up here with claws or muscle. You got here holding a burning stick and refusing to drop it. If you felt that shift, that exact second the prey became the predator, type the word apex in the comments. I want to see who felt it. And this is not a fairy tale. In a cave in South Africa called Wonderwerk, scientists dug up burnt bone and ash buried deep in the rock, far too deep for any wildfire to ever reach. They dated it to about 1 million years ago. Real ancestors feeding a real fire inside their own home an unthinkably long time ago. You, right now, are the start of that. Now watch what the fire starts doing to you. One night a scrap of meat slips off a stick and lands in the glowing coals. You snatch it back, cursing your burnt fingers, and then the smell hits you and your whole brain short circuits. You taste it. It is soft. It is warm. It surrenders to your teeth instead of fighting them. It is the single most delicious thing any human has ever put in its mouth, because no human has ever eaten anything cooked before. You think you just made dinner. What you actually did was start rebuilding your own body. Here is the part nobody tells you. Cooking is digestion you do outside your body before you even chew. Heat softens the food and unlocks calories that raw food keeps locked away. And that has a wild side effect. Once the fire is doing half of your digesting for you, you no longer need that giant, energy-hungry gut your ancestors had. So over thousands of generations, it shrinks. Your jaw, which used to grind raw roots for hours, gets smaller and weaker. Your big chewing teeth shrink. Your face literally rearranges itself. Two scientists named Leslie Aiello and Peter Wheeler pointed out that all the energy you save on a smaller gut has to go somewhere, and where it went was straight into feeding a bigger brain. So later tonight, look at your own small jaw and your own crowded little teeth in the mirror. That is not a flaw. That is a receipt. Your body literally sold off its guts and its bite to pay for the brain that fire bought you. And think about how greedy that brain is. The thing you are using to watch this video burns around 1/5 of all your energy every second. Even right now, while you are just sitting there, you could never have afforded an organ that hungry on a diet of raw leaves and stringy meat. Fire is the sponsor that quietly paid for your mind. And cooking hands you one more thing, something you would never even notice was missing. Time. A chimpanzee, your distant cousin, spends around 6 hours a day just chewing. 6 hours. Their jaw is basically a full-time job. But your soft, cooked food goes down in a fraction of that. Suddenly you have hours in your day that no ancestor has ever had, hours that do not need to be spent grinding food into paste with your face. And what do you do with all that free time? You make sharper tools. You paint on walls. You sit and you stare at the flame and you wonder about things that are not in front of you.
What is this?
Boredom, that restless, idle, itchy boredom that builds entire civilizations, is itself a gift from the fire. Every invention, every painting, every dumb genius idea anyone ever had at 3 in the morning was paid for with time that the flame handed back to you. And the fire keeps changing you. Before the flame, sleeping on the ground at night was basically suicide, so your ancestors slept up in the trees, lightly, nervously, one ear always open for something climbing toward them. But now you have a ring of fire that the predators will not cross. So for the first time, you lie down on the actual ground, next to the warmth, and you sink all the way into deep, heavy, dreaming sleep. Scientists think this matters a lot because deep sleep is when your brain files away memories and sharpens itself. Fire did not just keep you warm at night. It may have been quietly making you smarter while you were unconscious. And notice where everyone is sitting, around the fire. Not scattered, not alone, but pulled into one tight circle around a single glowing point. That circle is the first home. Thousands of years from now, your descendants will build entire houses around a fireplace and call the room with the fire the heart of the home. The Romans will even have a word for the hearth. The word is focus, the literal Latin word for the fire pit at the center of the house, which is why, to this very day, when you pour all of your attention onto one single thing, you call it your focus. You are not just staying warm, You are inventing the idea of gathering, of home, of a group of people all paying attention to the same thing together in the dark. Every family dinner table in history is just this fire with extra steps. Now sit by the flame and notice something strange happening to you. You cannot look away from it. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing slows. You feel calm in a way the daylight world never allows. That is not your imagination. An anthropologist named Christopher Lynn found that simply watching a fire measurably lowers human blood pressure. The flame is the first thing in history that ever told your nervous system, relax, you are safe now. And inside that warm, flickering, calm little bubble, your tribe starts doing something brand new. You talk, not about chores. At night around the fire, people stop talking about who did what and start talking about who is not there, about the dead, about spirits, about things that never happened and places that do not exist. An anthropologist named Polly Weisner actually measured this in living hunter-gatherers. Daytime talk is boring and practical. Firelight talk is stories, imagination gods. The campfire is the first cinema, the first church, and the first group chat all at once. Every story you have ever loved started as a face glowing orange in the dark. So tell me, if you were sitting at that very first fire, holding the first chance in history to tell a story to other human beings, what would your story be about? Put it in the comments. I genuinely want to read what the first legend on Earth would have been if you were the one telling it. But now we reach the part that should honestly scare you a little, because this is where the deal you made comes due. You think you captured fire. Look closer. While you were busy stealing it, it quietly made sure you could never live without it again. Remember that shrunken gut and that weak little jaw. They are not built for raw food anymore. And this is not a guess. In modern Germany, scientists studied people who chose to eat only raw food, with blenders, with fridges, with an entire grocery store behind them, and still their bodies wasted away. They lost dangerous amounts of weight, and a large number of the women stopped having periods completely because their bodies could not squeeze enough energy out of raw food to even allow a pregnancy. Sit with that for a second. You are the only animal on this planet that has become physically unable to survive on the food it evolved to eat. A raw world would slowly starve you. Fire did not set you free. Fire put a collar on you, and you have been wearing it for 1,000,000 years. And here is one more little gift you never asked for. You are now sitting inside a cave, breathing the smoke of a fire you refuse to put out. Congratulations, you also just invented air pollution about 1,000,000 years before the first factory, and you are happily inhaling it in a sealed stone room. Scientists have found smoke damage in the lungs and bones of ancient people. Your ancestors literally coughed their way to civilization. So somewhere deep in your DNA is a creature that looked at warmth, safety, and a hot-cooked dinner and decided a chest full of smoke was a fair price. And honestly, looking at your species today, that might be the most human trade ever made. We always say humans domesticated animals. We turned the wolf into the dog and the boar into the pig. But the very first thing we ever domesticated was fire. And in that exact same moment, the fire reached back and domesticated us right back. Smaller teeth, smaller guts, softer bodies, and a brain that can never stop chasing the flame. We did not just train fire to sit. Fire trained us to need it. So go back to that question from the start. Grab it or run. Scroll the comments and find the people who said run. They made the same choice, the safe choice, the choice almost every animal that has ever lived would make. And every single one of their imaginary bloodlines froze to death in the dark. You grabbed it. You always grab it. And that one insane, reckless, magnificent decision is the reason your teeth are small, your brain is huge, you are scared of the dark, a candle calms you down, and you, at 2 in the morning, still cannot stop staring into a glowing screen. That screen is just the newest fire, and you are still the same ape, still drawn to the light in the dark, still unable to look away. You are not fire's master. You are its oldest and most loyal pet. And honestly, looking at everything it gave you, that might have been the best deal your species ever made. This is Ashborn Ancestors, where your own body keeps confessing secrets about people who died a million years ago. Subscribe and come survive the next one with us, because next time you wake up in the middle of the Ice Age with no clothes and about 30 minutes before your body shuts down for good. Until then, keep the fire burning. It is keeping you after all.